Hello everyone, hope you're doing well today. It's been a minute, but I am now back with another video for your viewing pleasure. Today we are talking about Toy Story 2. It's been added to the new PlayStation Plus service for all of our enjoyment. So let's jump right in. So Toy Story 2, this is a game that I played as a kid back in the day. It was my introduction to the Toy Story video game universe, and yes, that is a thing in my mind. I played it on the Nintendo 64 originally, but I may have also played on the PS1 at my cousin's house once or twice. Now, one thing that I discovered when researching for this video is that there was actually a Dreamcast version, which sounds dope, and I had no idea it existed, but it turns out it was just a lackluster port of the Nintendo 64 version. The game loosely follows the film and features locations such as Andy's room, Al's toy barn, and the airport, and it'll take you about 8 hours to complete. I actually already own this game on Vita, and it's a blast to play just on the go. But now that it's on PS5, I thought I would jump back in. It's a typical movie tie-in game in the sense that you do get to play through different parts of the movie and explore those familiar locations, and you get to play as Buzz Lightyear as you go on a quest to rescue Woody. And looking back, like, who wouldn't want to play as Buzz? I feel like once you saw Toy Story as a kid, you automatically wanted a Buzz action figure and a Buzz video game. He's just such a brilliantly designed character with his cool laser beam, retractable wings, and spacesuit. Toy Story 2 is pretty straightforward and simple with its typical platforming gameplay, some light puzzle solving and collecting, and you even get cutscenes taken directly from the film. That is, unless you're playing the Nintendo 64 version, and I guess those cartridges just couldn't handle all the data. You get a variety of enemies, with the Prospector being the final boss. And if you're just looking for a simple, old school action platformer, Toy Story 2 does the trick. But what really makes it stand out in the crowd is the fact that it is that Toy Story IP, and it has all those familiar locations and characters. After doing some research on the various versions of the game, it appears that the PS1 version was by far the best. It has a 75 on Metacritic, while the Nintendo 64 version has a 58. That's a pretty big gap. The N64 version had a lower frame rate and some bad pop-up, but I think at this point, playing on the PS5 is your best bet. But the PS1 iteration was the best of all the original versions for the clarity and color palette. And one last thing I want to address is the fact that there is no trophy support for this title, which is absolutely mind-boggling. Like, why does Ape Escape get trophies but not Toy Story 2? It's such a glaring omission that I'd bet my bottom dollar that a lot of people are going to give it a hard pass. And as a big advocate for trophies, and someone who actively seeks them out, it kind of puts a damper on the whole thing. I have played through a couple levels on the PS5 version, and for the most part, it's, the same game it was before. It's a little, more crisp. The controls are seem a little better using the DualSense, but all in all, it's still a frustrating experience at times because the platforming is just so, the platforming and the camera are just so unpredictable. It's very hard to judge where you're landing, and it's also very hard to deal with the camera. And that just about does it for today's video, guys. Do you plan on giving Toy Story 2 on the PS5 a go? And what memories do you have of this game from your childhood? I'd love to know this and any other thoughts you have in the comments below. And as always, if you are enjoying my content, hit that subscribe button and the bell to be notified of all future videos on the channel. I also now have a Patreon account where you can show your support. I'll have all of those links in the description below. And I will see you guys in the next one.